What's up everybody? I wanted to try another one of these mow and talk videos where I take you along for the ride as I mow the backyard here. And today I'm going to be cutting it at about just over an inch, I'd say. I haven't measured it exactly, but probably going to start dropping it down, seeing as we're in mid-September and the temperatures are cooler and the grass is really growing vigorously right now. So I got some new edge work in the back here I wanted to show you. And I did this on the weekend, installing some river rock right along the edge here in the back portion of the yard. And this was just sort of grass that grew right to the fence line, and it was always my intent to add an edge and put in some kind of rock or mulch or something. And this will let me now hang my reel mower slightly over the edge as I cut the edge, and it just makes it look a bit more defined. So plan is to do that along the side of the house as well, right over here. Right now I just got basically some old pine straw and weeds and stuff, and so that'll be a project coming up soon, and hopefully it'll look a bit nicer when I get some more rock down in there. All right, so this lawn, I originally seeded it from bare soil after we did a renovation a couple years ago, and I put down Perennial Ryegrass. So it's been 100% Perennial Ryegrass ever since then, the last couple of years. But this year in the spring, I gave it a pretty aggressive dethatch because I wanted to plant our new Alpha Centauri Perennial Ryegrass cultivar. And I would say this is now mostly Alpha Centauri. And so I've been pretty happy with how that's performed so far in terms of the color it's providing, the drought tolerance this past summer, and I'll probably plan to continue keeping it Alpha Centauri for the foreseeable future here. So typically when I mow this, I try to do like a trim pass first. I also try to alternate which way I'm doing stripes every time, just to give the turf some variability and not lay it down in one direction every time. So, gotta get these stripes straightened out. But it's such a small backyard that, you know, this only takes me 10 minutes or so. Not even. So here I didn't quite get this stripe straight, so I'll come here and I'll do it again. I'll try to avoid this if I can, where I'm kind of going over the same area over and over and over. Maybe once in a while, if I kind of want to burn them in for, you know, maybe it's Halloween or something and there'll be lots of people coming by, but not something I typically do. And this Allett Liberty 43, it's been a pretty good mower so far. You know, I only need one battery to do both my front and back yards, and you know, I've got small yards, so if you had a bigger yard, you probably want to have an extra battery on hand. It takes a Greenworks model battery. If I was going to get a new reel mower, mallet, I'd probably look at I think it's the Sterling. I might have that wrong, but it's the one with the Ego battery. But it provides a good cut as long as you get the reel sharpened every year. And it's easy to adjust the height of cut. Kind of homeowner friendly in that sense, where it's just like this black dial down here. You don't have to get the tools out or the fancy expensive height of cut measuring gauge, which some people like, I understand, but I like the convenience of just being able to twist the knob up and down to set your height of cut. So I'll usually just go in this direction. In fact, I always just go in this lengthwise direction just because of the shape of the lawn. But then sometimes I'll do a double cut. I probably will today, just depending on, you know, when I did one last, how much time I have, or if the lawn is stressed or not. Like if it's in the middle of summer and there's a lot of heat stress on the lawn, I'm just trying to get on it and get off it. Here, look at this. The squirrels this time of year, just bearing their treats. This, I often find damage in the morning from raccoons and squirrels. Here, I'll show you this hole that a squirrel dug. The raccoons are the worst. Check this out. I don't know if you can see this here. There's a nice big fat squirrel hole. City living, there's always animals leaving little surprises for you in the mornings. But the raccoons, they're the worst. If you have sod, they're maddening in how much they pull that back and how long they do it for. Like, I know people who've had raccoons rolling back to the sod for weeks and weeks on end. I don't have sod, so they just dig these big holes in the lawn looking for insects, grubs, worms, whatever. So occasionally I'll find damage in the morning, and this time of year, the squirrels get going as well. So for this lawn, I'll do stripes lengthwise this way, and then I'll probably do a double cut here as well, because the grass is looking like it wants it. It's not dried out, growing vigorously. So I'll usually kind of start around here where I can get a nice diagonal, corner to corner. Come back this way. Sort of bite off this little end section here. Now you can't see that well, you're far away. I'll make my way back there in a second. And this winter was really harsh for winter damage. Talked to lots of folks who had damage in their lawns. And I certainly had some back here, snow mold, some other just general damage. But overall, once the temperatures warmed up, the lawn bounced back really well. And then I did my overseeding project. This winter, I think I'm gonna do a little experiment with covering the lawn to see what that will do in terms of protection and spring green up. More to come on that. But it's a small yard. It's kind of awkwardly shaped to do these diagonal passes, like they're so short. And I try not to bang the mower into the fence or the house over here. I typically like to mow late afternoon or even early evening. Sort of golden hour. I find that's when the lawn looks the best. It's also when it's really easy to see stripes. And sometimes wearing polarized sunglasses can help as well. So sometimes, mainly in my front yard, mowing in the middle of the day when I've had a hard time figuring out which way I went. Just because of the light. So I love having that rock down there now and that defined edge. It just makes sort of managing the edges of the lawn when you're mowing it a lot easier. You can kind of just zip around the border, hang the mower off, and you know you've got the edge. You don't have to try to get as close as possible to the fence or to the house. And I know as grass crazy people, it's tempting to think, oh, more grass the better. You know, the more you have to mow, the more enjoyment you get out of that. But I actually find that creating a defined edge makes the lawn pop way more. And running the grass right up to the fence or right up to the house can look less intentional, you know, less put together, less manicured than if you steal a little bit of grass area and convert that into, you know, a little garden bed, a little mulch area, even just a thin strip along your fence. I'm thinking about doing it here. This is not too bad because I've got this wood retaining along the side. But you know, we get emails and calls from people with shade stress issues where they've got a shady yard, big tree in their backyard, and you know, they're hoping our shade blend, our seed, will be the answer. And certainly good seed can help. But you know, if there's an area under a big tree that constantly struggles to grow because of thin soil, no sunlight, sometimes it's better just to convert it into mulch and then run your grass up to somewhere to meet that mulch and put a hard edge in it. And then, you know, you've got a manicured look and you're no longer battling this challenging area that's been hard to grow grass in. You know, it doesn't work for every yard scenario, I get that. Maybe you don't want a big mulched area in the middle of your front yard or beside your driveway or something, but for a lot of spots where there's trees like in the border or on the edge of a property, converting that area under the tree to mulch and then bringing that mulch to where the grass can grow well, putting a defined edge there, that can be a way to sort of solve your problem of this challenging area, but also get a nice look. Okay, that's it on the cut here, and it's looking pretty good. Got this sort of argyle cross hatch thing going, just sort of my typical move back here. I don't mix it up too much. I should though, I should try some more crazy designs. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.